Hello friends, I'm Kat. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thank you so much for joining. This is my yearly top 10 games released video of 2023 for the Nintendo Switch. It was a fantastic year for our favorite little handheld home console hybrid. It was a great year for video games in general, and I think you may agree. I even wore my retro Link tee for this video, which may hint a little bit on one of my top favorites of 2023. Not that it's that hard to guess, but this is of course my personal top 10 list of 2023, so it might have more of a focus on cozier, more laid-back games and just other personal favorites as well. I did try to focus on games that just released this year, which means no ports or remasters, with the exception of one remake, because as a Nintendo fangirl, again, it was just such a joy to play it on the Switch, and I can't not include it on my top 10 list. I can break the rules of my own list, no? I'd love to hear your top 10 list of Switch releases for this year, so please feel free to leave them down below. Can't wait to read them. And also, if you don't see some of your other picks here, I will be following this video up as well with my top 10 cozy games list, and that one will include both Switch and Steam releases, so please feel free to stick around and subscribe if you would like to be notified when that video comes out. And with that, let's get this list started. Kicking off our list at number 10 is Warioware Move It. If you love party games to play with your friends or family, Wario knows how to do it best. It's fun, it's wacky, it's chaotic, and always just such a hilarious time. It's a feel-good game that has you playing through over 200 randomized mini-games, or micro-games rather, because each only lasts a few seconds long, which is perfect because I feel like this type of game is super accessible for everyone. And with WarioWare Move It, it's also a motion-based game, so it gets you up and moving. It reminds me of the Wii era, you know, where it's very family friendly and casual, or new gamer friendly. Absolutely anyone can join in to compete in various activities ranging from shaking, dancing, wiggling, chopping, and other silly moves. You can play solo on the campaign mode, but I feel like a lot of joy in games like these comes from playing with others. So you can do a 2-player couch co-op with a campaign, or enter party mode, which lets you play with up to 4 players. It's like an instant happiness boost whenever you play this game, and I think it's perfect for this time of year as well, around the holidays and the new year if you're getting together with some of your favorite people. Number 9 goes to Detective Pikachu. This combines my love for Pokemon and my love for the genre of a whodunit mystery. So in this game, you revisit Rhyme City. If you've played the 3DS game or watched the movie, it will feel very familiar, and you're joined once again by fellow coffee lover and Detective Pikachu and his human sidekick Tim Goodman for a good bit of investigating. There's been a jewel heist, and it's up to this iconic duo to solve the case by finding clues, interrogating suspects, and other detective duties, of course, all the while continuing their investigation of Tim's father's disappearance. Since the game is about solving a mystery, I feel like I can't talk about the story too much. That'll be for you to find out, but if you enjoy similar point-and-click narrative mystery games, give this one a try. It's definitely on the easier side. The challenges that arise are more lighthearted, but it makes a nice pick up and play anytime type of game for me, and it's great for younger kids as well. I adore this game, and it's safe to say that I love every single one of the games that made it to my top 10. Plus, I love Pokemon, so there's maybe that bias there as well. I welcome any Pokemon spin-offs, and this has to be one of my favorites. I hope you're not yet sick of me talking about Fae Farm. I have mentioned this game a few times already, but it's a game that I've been looking forward to since it was teased in one of the online Nintendo showcases. Listen, it's a farming sim with an enchanting twist set in a Fae world. There's magic, spells, potions, which for some reason I'm just a sucker for, and a whole lot of the same things we love in other farming sims. But what I enjoyed about this game the most is the freedom and creativity that it offers, from customizing your farm to your home, to the specific decor items or clothing, Others say they want a bit more dialogue from the townsfolk in this game, but perhaps because I came from the OG Harvest Moon days where they have like 2 things to say to you, or maybe because I don't spend too much time talking to everyone, that part doesn't bother me too much, I admit. And I've touched on the pricing thing before, which I feel is the biggest point of discussion about this game, but I'll give it the short and sweet version here. I've had a lot of hours of fun with this game, but it is on the pricier side, which is partly why it's lower on this list. It costs a full $80, which is only $10 less than something like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Anyway, Fae Farm is my favorite farming sim released on the Switch this year and took my number 8 spot of this list. This is a PSA. Please do not sleep on Fashion Dreamer if you love character customization. It's pretty much an endless character customization screen and I am here for it. It also feels like an homage and a spiritual successor to the fashion styling games of the DS and 3DS days, which built my childhood. Okay, a little dramatic, but I just have so many fond memories of those games. So it shouldn't surprise you to know that Fashion Dreamer made number 7 on my list because I always spend at least an hour customizing my character in any game or trying to give them makeovers whenever possible. So this game is totally up my alley. You play the role of a fashion influencer and you go around styling others in the world, also playing Fashion Dreamer, posting the outfits on the in-game social media called the Eve, and collecting likes and other points so you can unlock patterns to clothes and accessories which you can then customize even further and create your very own clothing brand. They've already released a free content update earlier this month and promise to continue free content updates consisting of more clothing, hairstyles, and even limited event-based items throughout the year. I've also raved about this game enough times already since it came out, and I would have given it a higher place in this top 10 if the next few games I'm mentioning aren't so incredible. So I feel like I do have to be fair, but again, I love all the games in this list for different reasons. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon is my very first official Bayonetta game, and it was such a special experience for me. As soon as I saw the trailer for this, I knew I wanted to play it because it just looked like a cozy bayo, and I also enjoyed the idea of getting to know her and meet her character before she became the iconic badass gunslinging queen that we all know her for. She wasn't always known as Bayonetta, so in this game you play as a young Bayo, aka Cereza. She's still a trainee witch and she goes on her journey to learn more about the dark arts and work toward her only wish of being strong enough to help her imprisoned mother. I love that you get to control Cereza and her first demon companion, Cheshire, who also happens to possess her stuffed toys, so he looks like a patched up doll. You control them simultaneously with each side of the controller, or he can go back into a cuddly little doll that Cereza can carry around. And again, it was a treat to witness Bayonetta's upbringing. It really shows a more human and vulnerable side to her that lets you get to know her on a different level and feel attached to the character and just makes you root for her. Besides my go-to cozy games and farming sims, I do love a good RPG, and I love an RPG even more if it takes me back to the time of the pixel days. Games that remind me of my earliest experiences in gaming bring a different feeling of cozy for me. There's like that feeling of comfort and warmth from nostalgia and bringing back old fond memories. I've raved about the first Octopath game that came out in 2018, which is wild to me to think about how long it's been. It was one of my first games for the Nintendo Switch, and I'd say one of the ones that solidified my love for this console. Octopath Traveler 2 brings us a brand new adventure and a brand new set of 8 heroes in the glorious HD 2D that I just adore. It takes place in the land of Celestia, and it's just so stunning and picturesque and like playing through a piece of art. What I also love about this game is being able to play all the different heroes' stories in the order you want to, or just focus on your favorites. Besides getting invested in each of the characters and the story, of course, it's having that freedom of choosing how you'd like it all to play out and how to experience the game that makes Octopath Traveler 2 even more memorable for me. Continuing with the RPG, but this time more Nintendo Wii. Super Mario RPG is the game that I sort of kind of mentioned in the intro. It is a remake, but it's completely been redone and it feels like it's a brand new game that's been made for the Nintendo Switch. Again, it's technically not a brand new game, but it looks and plays like any other Nintendo game that I've played on this console. Whether you're revisiting from the Super Nintendo Entertainment System days of the original release back in 1996, or it's your first time playing this gem like I am, I think you'll find yourself having so much fun playing Super Mario RPG. It's one of my favorite genres with our favorite Nintendo characters, so it's wholesome and endearing, and you get to team up with Bowser and have him on your side for once. Who can say no to that? Play as Mario and friends to repair Star Road and defeat the infamous Smithy gang in this colorful and whimsical adventure. Super Mario Bros. Wonder truly deserves all the praise it's been getting. All Mario games are fun to me, of course, but there's something about this one that you can just tell how much fun the creators had when they were putting this game together. Of course, there are parts we'll feel familiar with. It is at its core the OG side-scrolling platforming Mario. Unlike in Super Mario RPG, Bowser is back to being our nemesis. He's transformed into a flying castle and he's bringing about his usual chaos that he loves to bring. But you can play as several other characters, Mario and Luigi of course, Peach, Daisy, Toad, Toadette, Yoshi's, Nabbit, and you go through Mushroom Kingdom in different challenges with all new power-ups like changing into an elephant, collecting wonder seeds that make some weird stuff happen on the map, and save the day once again. It's like I've been brought back to my childhood and I'm playing a Super Mario Bros. Game for the first time again with wonder. And it's even more fun again whenever you're playing with friends and family, which I feel like the Nintendo Switch is just so great for. I don't know what rock I've been hiding under because I feel like I just didn't really pay much attention to the Pikmin series until Pikmin 4, and it's just such a shame because it's so much fun and I'm totally obsessed. Can't get enough of Pikmin. I know it's not technically part of this top 10 list, but I've mentioned before as well that I also play the Pikmin Bloom app on my phone because I just want Pikmin at all hours of the day. Completely unrelated to this game, but that's how much Pikmin 4 made me love Pikmin and why it takes the number 2 spot on this list. Pikmin 4 takes us on a bit of a space adventure. The captain crashes his ship on Earth and every rescue attempt ends up in another crash and another crash. So you play as this rookie trainee that becomes the only hope of saving the captain, but you must rescue everyone else along the way, which would aid you in your adventure. There's also the addition of Ochi, who's the best boy in all of Pikmin. You can ride on him, give him commands to fetch things or fight for you or helping locate certain things. It's a feel-good adventure that has you wanting to explore every nook and cranny, and it is one of my go-tos for a cozy gaming session as well. Very quick honorable mention goes to the Pokemon Scarlet Violet DLC, The Hidden Treasure of Area 0. Did I get that right? Yes, I know it's not technically a brand new released game this year, but both expansions, the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc, just came out this year, and it's like a brand new storyline to these games with a ton of content and kept me coming back for more throughout the year. Part 1 started with a school trip outside of the main region of Paldea where Scarlet Violet takes place, and it's a rural Japan-inspired area where you have to unravel the mysteries behind their folk tales. And Part 2 takes us to Blueberry Academy, unusually located under the ocean, where we become an exchange student and learn a lot about Pokemon battling, which is a huge part of this school's curriculum. These also contain brand new, never before seen Pokemon and over 230 familiar faces and fan favorites added to the regular Pokédex. As far as DLC bundles for games goes, this is definitely up there for my all-time favorites, so I just had to mention it in this list. And for the number 1 spot, drumrolls, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Need I say more? The long-awaited sequel to our beloved Breath of the Wild finally came this year and it just did not disappoint. I feel like it checked off every box in my wish list and just delivered even more and more. And just when I thought I've discovered everything about this game, I'm really just scratching the surface. This game is just perfection to me. It's got a stunning open world with beautiful scenery that's begging you to explore it and to discover all its secrets. I think many of you can relate to this, but I spend more time doing that than actually playing the main story, so no shame in that. It's very cozy to me. I know there's also the exciting and sometimes challenging combat, but once you've learned the ropes and have everything tuned in, you may find that each button press just becomes like a reflex to you, and even the battles can feel very fun and satisfying, especially once you've bested the bigger enemies. My favorite addition to Tears of the Kingdom from Breath of the Wild, of course, is the crafting. You can spend endless hours just experimenting with different combinations and functions, coming up with various vehicles and how it can help Link in his adventure, or just simply have fun with it. There are also now 3 layers of the map to explore, which adds the sky level and the depths. But what probably most of us love about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is the pure freedom. Playing this game however you please. Want to be a monster slayer and hunt down all the difficult mini-bosses and bosses to challenge yourself, or maybe you want to make it your goal to help every Korok reunite with his lost friend along the way. Maybe you just want to spend an afternoon riding on a dragon and sightseeing. Or is it the shrines and puzzles that you look forward to solving? Sometimes, or in my case most times, it's just walking around, enjoying the sights, doing some foraging, hunting, cooking a nice little meal, or building and decorating Link's home of his dreams. However you would like to play this game, it lets you. And along with the story that makes this game so hard to put down, the music, characters, and gameplay itself makes it my game of the year on the Nintendo Switch, but also just overall. Tears of the Kingdom is a true masterpiece that holds many fond memories of my adventures in Hyrule, and I will keep enjoying and coming back to way beyond 2023. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. If you've watched any of my videos this year and enjoyed the Nintendo Switch along with me, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, be kind to yourselves and have a happy holidays.